closely for is the referee. He's got it coming to him. In France now. It might be the story of 25 years ago, compiled for you as a historical document. In fact, this is an actuality of the present, lifting a corner of the curtain that covers the activities of our troops across the Channel. You've seen them marching through the villages of France. You've met them in the company of the Commander-in-Chief, Lord Gort. Now we find Lord Gort again on an inspection tour. In his party is the Duke of Windsor, who you will remember has given up his rank of Field Marshal in order to undertake the duties of a Major General. Heavy responsibility for the direction of the British Army in France lies on the shoulders of this small group of men. But unity of command has been instituted from the start of this war, and General Gamelin, in the group with Lord Gort, is invested with the supreme command of the Allied armies in the West. Because this film is mainly concerned with our own expeditionary force, don't let us forget the mighty accumulation of men and material which France has massed for the common cause. The 30-ton tanks have already had their baptism of war and proved themselves very formidable fighting vehicles. And big guns, in the making of which France excels, are continually going up the line to reinforce the defensive position. For at present it seems to be a war of defense. The expeditionary force, instead of being thrown into the line for immediate operations, has been able to perfect its training in conditions similar to those at home. This bayonet drill in gas masks is our reply to transparent Nazi propaganda, which seems to indicate that Germany is preparing to employ poison gas. Infantry battalions exercise with their auxiliary weapons, awaiting the moment for their use in actual warfare. The mortar platoon goes into action with a rapidity only acquired by constant practice. Steel helmets assume a fashionable appearance with the addition of camouflage. Then here is the anti-aircraft platoon preparing for the day when it will have to deal with low-flying aeroplanes. Their weapon is a Bren gun on a special mounting. So it is when the anti-tank rifle is rushed up to the edge of a field of root crops. Anti-tank weapons have assumed major importance, since the key to success in this war, some people think, will be the tank. And here's the modern cavalry regiment, now fully mechanized. The charge of the Light Brigade was impressive, but imagine tanks going into battle. The picture tells the story of the rapidity with which British tanks can deploy and engage. The infantry, too, has its own mechanized platoon of Bren carriers. You've seen them on the road in a previous film, now see them in action. Advancing in line to support tanks or cover infantry, the carriers have a brisk turn of speed. They transport their crew to a strong point where the Bren is dismounted and the carrier retires to take shelter. Of course, there are people who think that tanks or no tanks, the war will be won once again by the foot-slogging soldier. Either way, Britain is ready, for Tommy Atkins is still trained to march. A station platform makes a fine parade ground, and the smartness and discipline of the drill argues well for the alertness demanded by actual periods under fire.
Equal.
The same location serves for a mess. Fortifying the inner man is not the least important item in training. There must be recreation as well. The Germans are probably playing football behind their lines, but this game is between the Royal Air Force and a team of French airmen. The goalposts may have seen better days, but what the football lacks in quality, it makes up in zest, and no one resents the interest of low-flying aeroplanes because they happen to be our own fighters. Fraternization continues in recreation hours when Tommy and his French friends chinwag over la guerre. And here's a problem for Jock. How many francs to the threepenny bit? Kit inspection. The army supplies the soldier with all his necessaries or the wherewithal to buy them, so it becomes the duty of the soldier to produce his kit every now and then for inspection. The colour sergeant counts out the items, not forgetting the housewife or needle and thread, etc., which is the article most easily overlooked. There are other inspections. Under active service conditions, care of the feet is very nearly the first consideration of a good soldier. And of course you'd expect Tommy to pay proper attention to his feet in view of his well-known pleasure in the tub. Bathing parade is the most cheerful ritual of training, and it's performed with a delicacy characteristic of this expeditionary force of 1939. As for their washing, Well, you know where they're going to hang that.